Hello, listener. This is Blake, along with Todd and Alex, and we'd like to welcome you to Unclever. This is a podcast about a variety of topics, some super serious in nature, some absolutely ridiculous, and everything in between. If you would like to contact us, you can find us on Instagram at Unclever Podcast, as well as Facebook, Unclever Podcast, or contact us through email. Suggest topics for the show, or just general harassment at uncleverguys@gmail.com. That's uncleverguys@gmail.com. And now on to the show. And so our topic for today is rather not so serious, but interesting to discuss, is theme parks. So theme parks, yes or no? You in on them? You out on them? Where you guys at? Just let's start there. How about that? Where you at on theme parks? You like them? You hate them? I know some people absolutely hate theme parks because the definition of hell to them would be standing in a very crowded environment with, 90,000 strangers. Yeah.
And your kids. With
overpriced eateries, right, waiting in line for 2 hours to ride whatever. So where you guys at on them?
I'm a roller coaster guy. So I love the actual rides, all of that stuff. I love the rest of it, kind of leave it, take it or leave it.
So just when you're on the ride itself?
Yeah. The waiting an hour to get on the ride, no thank you. Especially if you got kids. I don't see how people go to Disney like 4 times a year for a week. Blows my mind.
Yeah, from my end, I'm both in and out. It depends on the place and depends on the time of year. Disney, that's fun for me. What's the other one in Orlando? Universal, good time. Six Flags. I can't believe I forgot the name of it.
I forgot Universal.
I know, dude. Oh man, it kills me.
I like them. I've not been to a lot of theme parks, but I like it if they're just like, hey, we got rides, come ride them. That would be my kind of theme park.
Have you got what's the name of the? Have you guys seen the documentary? I think it's on Netflix of the people who built their own theme park.
No, I'm in already.
Yeah,
hold on, I'm looking this up real quick. Talk amongst yourselves.
Well, I was gonna say, where y'all at on Six Flags? Say middle of July. Hottest place on earth.
That's pretty tough. Yeah, that's going to be hot and sticky. So
you paid $14 for a drink that you're just changing out throughout the day. Yeah. At one point, it's Gatorade, then it's water, Coke, then it tastes like all of them.
I don't remember the last time I actually went to a theme park. I know y'all probably been recently. It's been years.
Okay, so full disclosure, this year my family and I are annual pass holders to Universal in Orlando. So we went in February for a week. We're going back in the summer, and then we will be going back in the late fall or around the holidays again.
So you're a theme park family. You're a Universal family.
I wouldn't say that, but if you get it as a Christmas gift, you're going to get your mileage out of it. The name of that documentary is Class Action Park.
Oh, dude, I've watched that.
Okay.
I love that.
Do you remember? My brother told me about it.
Yeah.
I don't remember much about it. I just randomly thought of it.
I think I laughed at that more than I've laughed at most comedies over the last year or two. It was just ridiculous, the stuff that they would try to do. The guy that owned it, he would just create rides, and he wasn't an engineer. He was just a business dude. So they had a water slide with a loop in it.
Yeah.
So people were missing teeth.
Trying to engineer these rides on his own. This wasn't
it. Yeah. It seemed fun, so let's try it.
They built rides.
Joe Exotic makes.
Yeah.
Theme park. Yeah. Okay.
I'd be in on that.
Yeah.
Tiger King Park. Yeah. So I forgot what was the question. Did you ask me something?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I think we were just talking about
you were looking
Class Action Park.
That's what.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that's
anyway, sorry, I just randomly thought about that. All right. So here's a question. This is a curveball. Single best thing you've ever eaten in any theme park? I'm big on food because here's the thing, and we'll get into this, but I'm not I like a roller coaster. I'll ride a roller coaster. I'm not scared to get on a roller coaster by any means. I'll ride anything you'll put me on, but I can only handle so much. As I've gotten older, it's I can't just I can't go get on like the biggest roller coaster, say like Six Flags in Georgia. I couldn't ride Goliath like 15 times in a row. Like, I've been in that situation before where it's like really low crowd or whatever, and they're just like, you want to go again? Let's go. Yeah, I can't do that.
Can we just stay on, bro?
Go for it. I can't do that, but so much now. And so when I go, if I'm going to ride a big ride like that, I have to really, I can go from one to the next because you got a lot of time if you're having to wait in line to kind of, detox or whatever, but I can't just do one after the other. Eventually, it's just like, okay, I got to chill. So, for that reason, eateries are big for me.
Okay.
Am I using the right terminology?
Eateries.
I'm with you all the way. So, like, full disclosure for me, I hate heights. I get really sick really easy. Like, I don't know, it started happening when I was like 18 or 19. I started getting motion sickness really easy. So, if I ride once, I'm sick. Like, I'm immediately. I'll get sick if I'm playing video games too long.
So,
now.
he's big on theme parks.
But
teacups would kill
But
me.
it does. I have to, like, if we're on that ride, I grab it so that we can't turn. But I'm really good about, like, I'll just turn my brain off and I'm like, all right, I'm doing it. I've thrown up at multiple theme parks.
I've never done that. I've never thrown up
it's
at
a good
theme
time.
park.
It's a good time.
Wait. All right, listen. What's the last theme park you went to?
It was Six Flags, probably 7 years ago.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So Varden and I may be operating on a different plane.
Without a doubt. And I know y'all have both been to Disney multiple times, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I went one time, and it was probably 2004 or 5.
Was Mickey even, like, real yet?
He was, But so I don't know that experience at all. I don't know Disney at all.
Okay.
But I do have a kind of hot take on that topic with the all this stuff coming out.
Should we wait to get to that?
You want to?
Let's play. I just wanted to establish that when we start talking about this and theme parks, that maybe what's going through Alex's mind is a little different than yours.
Oh, it's completely different.
Okay, because I didn't know. Like, if we're thinking about Disney and Universal and stuff like that, and you're thinking about, like,
Alabama Adventure?
No.
the Scrambler out front of the Jasper Mall.
My goat park of all time is Miracle Strip Amusement Park. It's basically like a fair, just permanently put there.
How many times you walk through Satan's mouth to get on that one ride?
No, Dante's Inferno, man.
What was that? Was that like a centrifuge?
It was
spin around and around.
Tilt-a-whirl, I believe, was the no. Trabant. It's weird.
What?
I know the names, the technical names of these rides.
I have no idea what either one of you are talking about. Centrifuge. What was yours?
The
you know
Trabant.
you do know what a centrifuge is. A centrifuge is like the classic fair ride. They used to have one at the Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville, where you get on it and you spin around and around, you start sliding up and down.
Great field trip location.
That's like where you're standing against the wall.
Yeah, and everybody starts turning. Except me, I was always the chubby kid that gravity couldn't overcome me, and so like everybody else starts sliding up the wall and spinning upside down, and you're beside the girl that you like that came with you on the field trip, and she's upside down and her hair's hanging down and all this, and she's looking at you like you have not moved. Like all you've done is press against the board the whole time. So
you never went in the Snowman or the Dante Inferno Devil in Panama City?
We were like more of a Gulf Shores family. No big deal.
Panama City was
big deal.
Too much of a party down there in PCB.
I was hitting up Alvin's Island and going to Souvenir City.
Well, they have Alvin's Island. They don't have Souvenir City. They have Alvin's Island, and
I wouldn't know.
His mom got one look at Purple Haze and said, "We're not going."
Never going back to that.
I have a story about Miracle Strip. I was myself, my brother, and my uncle. We were on vacation. My aunt and uncle came down to meet our family, and we were Miracle Strip late one night, and we're going to shut it down, right? And so we're riding, and they have the one roller coaster. Do you remember what the name of it was?
The Starliner. First,
wow, that's a deep cut.
There's no doubt that's the name of it. It was the first. I believe it was the biggest wooden coaster like in the Southeast for 15 years.
Yeah, it was really similar to say like in size and scale to say like a Georgia Cyclone.
Okay.
At Six
Did you have to get a neck brace after?
Oh yeah,
yeah, most definitely. Or All American Scream Machine kind of. Yeah, big wooden roller coaster. So anyway, we get on the. What'd you say it was?
The Starliner.
And we're
it's
riding
a piece of the park, man.
And you're cranking up the hill, and we get to the top of the hill, the first big drop, and the front 2 or 3 cars are going over the hill, and then all of a sudden, wait, you know what? I'm telling the story backwards. So we crank up the hill and we drop just like you're supposed to. And we're riding the roller coaster. Well, as we're going on the ride, it starts raining, like pouring down rain out of nowhere. It's like one of those summertime just bursts, And so we come back around. We come into the station, and as we're coming down the last little straightaway, like I can see the look of concern on the people.
The workers?
On the ride attendants.
Like the 16-year-olds that got a summer job?
Exactly. And so as we pull into the
Professionals.
station, they hit the brakes, and I kid you not, sparks start flying out from under the cars, and we slide right through the station. And one thing I remember is as we turn the last corner there and we're coming up to the station there, I remember looking and seeing the look of like his 16, 18-year-old kid out there, and he's spreading dust like oil dry on the track trying to get the train to stop. And apparently that was like a known issue at the time. But so we're talking like late 80s. So this is
Well, did you go back? Did it take
so
you back
that's
up
what
the hill?
That's how I started the story. So we start going back up the hill, and it's cranking us up, and then the first 2 or 3 cars go over the thing, and then all of a sudden the entire roller coaster shuts down. And they walk up the track and get us out of the carts, and we have to walk down the hill.
Dude.
In the pouring down rain.
In 2022.
That would never.
No, there's no way.
Never happen.
They would bring a helicopter to rescue y'all before you walk back down.
Yeah.
For sure.
They would have come in and built like a temporary inflatable structure.
They would have went
of
and
some sort.
rented like the tallest scissor lift they could find.
Yeah. It was bizarre experience.
Well,
but
those brakes were still the like manual. These dudes are pulling levers. They're not pressing a button. They're pulling levers to get that thing to stop.
Yeah. So I don't think anybody answered my question. What's the best thing you've eaten in the theme park?
I'll start this off because it's easy. I have nothing that I remember eating at a theme park.
One of the main things I remember, I mean, now I've got obviously fresh memories from Disney and Universal and stuff like that with my kids, but as a child, the thing I remember about Six Flags was the little juice drinks that were shaped like the pieces of fruit. Do you remember that?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know what's happening here.
I know what he's talking about.
Nothing more that I enjoyed than getting one of those things that was shaped like a handful of grapes.
Yeah,
and it
an
had
orange that still had one leaf hanging off of it.
Yeah, and they had a straw coming out of it. It was imagine like a piece of plastic fake fruit, and you have a straw coming out of it, and then inside of it is essentially Kool-Aid.
Sugar water.
Yeah, Kool-Aid flavored, whatever flavor that is. Grab one of those on a hot day and jump on Monster Plantation.
Ooh. Dude, Monster Plantation, when you get hot,
hey,
that's the move.
Come on now.
Or back in the day, it was Okefenokee Swamp.
Yeah, I remember that.
Don't go into the swamp. The last time I was at Six Flags, kid you not, I looked at the ride attendant as we're getting on, and I said, this was like around Christmas time, like maybe 3 years ago, and there's a big, it's been longer than that, probably 4 years ago, and there's a group of us getting on the ride, and I looked at the guy, 16, 17-year-old kid, and I looked at him just straight-laced and said, hey, we'd prefer not to go in the swamp.
Dude had no idea what to say.
he just got this scowl on his face, like, what are you talking about? And I was like, we prefer not to go in the swamp.
Kind of a little bit scared of the swamp there, buddy.
Anyway, yeah, best thing you've eaten, sorry.
I'm a big churro guy, honestly. I mean,
you can't. It's hard to beat a Disney churro.
I think the last time I went, which was like a little over a year ago, I went with the college and career young adults ministry. I think I had multiple churros for sure, different dipping sauces, but I'm a big churro guy.
Yeah, it's. Have you had the Oreo churro?
I'm intrigued though.
Oreo churro.
I have not had that.
Right?
No, the Oreo churro.
That's good branding.
Oreo churro.
It's a chocolate churro with like vanilla frosting on top of it.
I'm a big cinnamon guy.
You can't beat an original hardly. They're the way to go. And actually, the last time I was at Disney, well, I wasn't actually at the park. I was at downtown Disney Springs,
yeah,
which formerly downtown Disney. So I was there, and I had the Oreo churro, and then what's the pretzel place that's Wetzel's Pretzels?
I think that's right.
I'm pretty sure I nailed it.
I think you did. Big pretzel guy.
Yeah. Well, the Wetzel's Pretzels has a frozen strawberry lemonade, and so the combination of those two, that's not the best thing I've eaten. I will say this, when it comes to food, I'm not speaking of anything else, but when it comes to food, strictly food, I think Disney has everybody else beat.
I would agree with that. I mean, I've been to, what's the one I forgot?
Universal.
That's the one. Yeah, that small place, whatever.
Tiny little.
But yeah, I would agree. Disney on the food for sure.
There's some things at Universal that are excellent, but as a whole,
Yeah, more items, more options. At Disney,
more
for
options.
sure.
And the thing about it, as far as theme park, they put a lot more focus on their food than other places do. Whereas, for instance, one of my favorite things is when you're on Main Street at Magic Kingdom.
And they're pumping in the smells.
Well, when you go in those shops for like the candy shops or the cookie shops or ice cream, whatever it is, like everything that you get is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like the best version of that. Like, for instance, I went in and we're on our way out and it's our last day there. And I'm pulling y'all know the tip where it's like at night when people are coming out, instead of walking down Main Street, like if you watch the fireworks show at Cinderella's, you lost.
I don't know the tip.
Tell us more about the Miracle Strip, Todd.
Let's go back to the Starliner.
Tell us more about the Gatlinburg of the South, Panama City.
As you're coming out after the fireworks show, the pro tip is to go in the stores, and because all the stores are connected.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
So you
I've
walk
done
through
that.
the stores and you get out way quicker.
Oh, instead of just walking down the street?
Because if you walk down the street, it's just a mob of people all trying to go in one direction. It just turns into an absolute bottleneck. So anyway, so I was doing that. Like you'll literally you could spend the same amount of time just walking down the street, or you could walk through every store and shop your way out.
Right.
And use the same amount of time.
So it sounds to me like Disney leaked this quote-unquote tip to get your money.
It's just the same guy that designed the smells that they're pumping in.
Wow,
it's
that's
the same.
probably true.
Came up with that.
That's probably true, and I never thought
Well
about
played,
it.
Walt. Well played, Walt.
Yeah. And now, a quick break for a word from our sponsors. So, fellas, we talked about bidet use quite a bit here on Unclever on the podcast. Todd and I we are active bidet users.
Absolutely. Already used it today.
We've been trying to get Ali V.
I'm warming up to the idea.
Yeah. Nasty bum over there. Todd and I have been trying to get him on the bidet train. But if you are interested in a bidet, we've had quite a few people reach out. Y'all have had people ask you about bidets?
I have, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so we've had quite a few people. If you are interested in purchasing a bidet, you can go to bidetking.com. That's bidetking.com. Some people don't know how to spell bidet. It is BIDET. Mm-hmm. Bidetking.com. And on their website there, you can they carry a large variety of bidets. They have seats. They have non-electric versions that just attach to the toilet, everything you could possibly imagine. They even have toilets with built-in bidets. How about that?
That's what I'm talking about.
That's a game changer. But you can purchase whatever bidet of your liking there. And when you go to check out, if you use there is a promo coupon code, fill in the blank type thing, you just put in Unclever, and you're going to get a pretty nifty discount. All right, so make sure you do that. Put Unclever in the blank there and show them some love. Now, back to the show. But on my way out, it was our last night, I get a Mickey Mouse Rice Krispie treat. It's like the shape of a giant Mickey head.
Yeah.
And I like a Rice Krispie treat.
Underrated snack.
Especially a homemade Rice Krispie treat.
Oh, yeah, where you can taste the butter in there?
Yes, I'm all in on those.
Yeah.
I like it when they've been pressed down and the butter's kind of congealed on the bottom of the pan.
And you got to like really give some effort to get it off the pan.
Yeah.
I'm more for the mallow, less for the butter.
No, you get a little suction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was better. When you pull it off the bottom of the pan. Anyway, that was so I get back to the hotel and I'm like, well, anyway, it ended up getting stuck in a bag and totally forgot that I bought it. And then my wife, Cassidy, bought one too, and I think hers was like dipped in chocolate or something. Anyway, we get back home and it's like 4 or 5 days later, and I was like, oh, you know what? I forgot I had that Rice Krispie treat, and I go and find it and set it on, I'd set it somewhere in the kitchen. I opened it up and I bite into it, and it's literally one of the best Rice Krispie treats I'd ever eaten in my life. And I wasn't just saying that because I was taking a bite of Mickey's ear. Like, I didn't care. Like, that didn't, like.
How hungry were you at the time?
Not very. It was just, I just need something to do with my mouth. And so.
Something's got to get in here.
Anyway, so as crazy as it sounds, that Rice Krispie treat was probably one of the best things I've ever had from a theme park. And I've eaten a lot of restaurants, and I mean,
It's hard for me to to divide it up because I've eaten at a bunch of restaurants. It's been good. There's a bunch of different snack foods. Have you guys ever had cauldron Skittles?
I have no idea what that is.
Is that from Harry Potter world?
Nah, it's from the people who make Skittles.
Bars, I believe.
Okay, all right.
But they're they come out specifically at Halloween. They're orange. I think it says something like, I think Goofy might be on there or something. There's some kind of tie-in. I don't know. I had them at Disney World for the first time. Best Skittles I ever had. So I look for them every year around Halloween. I got them at Target once. Cauldron Skittles.
What's the flavor?
Joy. I don't even know. They're different. It's just different. Cauldron Skittles.
I like the Skittles that fizz in your mouth.
Pop Rocks?
No.
Dude,
No,
he's
Skittles.
making that up.
No, I promise.
Fizzy Skittles?
Okay.
I like a good sour Skittle, but you eat too many, you get that ulcer in your mouth.
Oh, dude, yeah.
But worth it.
Yes,
so good.
sour Skittles.
They got that thick sour stuff on them, bro.
They do.
Yeah, that your mouth starts burning. They're called fizzled fruits. Fizzled fruits here. Skittles.
Never.
Who makes those?
The people that make Skittles. Jerk. All right, moving on. What best overall ride at any theme park? This is hard. This one's difficult for me.
I'm going to think for a second.
Because I think this is very depending on what your personal preferences are.
Are you looking for thrill or like experience?
I say this is hard, but this is not hard when you say best overall for me personally. Okay. But I would love to hear Todd's favorite. First.
At the Miracle Strip.
The Miracle Strip. What's your favorite ride?
What's your favorite ride in Panama City? The
What's
tattoo
your favorite
shop?
ride at the fair below Fultondale Elementary School?
Dude, the Jasper
That
fair
scrambler.
at the
It
Jasper
looks like
Mall.
you're going to hit each other, and then you don't.
It really does, though. The ride that I have always enjoyed because it's so smooth and
Is the
fun is
Batman.
the Batman at
I knew
Six
where you were
Flags.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to live a little, doesn't
I
he?
threw up after that one.
Really?
Yeah, I got really hot and sick. Holly and I were dating at the time, and she had some juice in her purse. I believe it was strawberry kiwi.
Good combination.
But it had been in there for a solid 13 hours. So she gave it to me, and it was really hot. I took a sip of it. That was a wrap.
So Batman.
I mean, that's all that comes to mind.
Yeah, because you're a roller coaster guy.
Yes.
So you definitely need to go to Universal Studios because the Velocicoaster,
Haven't ridden that one yet.
you
I
have
haven't been back since they got
Okay.
that one.
Now, I went to, when I was a teenager, I went to Busch Gardens.
Busch
in
Gardens
Tampa.
is good for roller
And
coasters.
I don't remember the name of one of the coasters there, but it was the first, suspended steel coaster, where you're
Isn't it like
under
the,
it. That's
the
the first time
Sheikah
I'd
or
ridden
something
one
like
of
that?
Yeah, that one. That one may have been better than the Batman.
I've been
But
there
I've
before.
only ridden it once, so I can't say that's the
I'll tell you who else has a roller coaster that's underrated is Dollywood. Silence.
No, I've never been there.
No,
I think I went to a dance competition there when my sister was 8 years old. Probably the last time.
I just go up there for the fudge and knives. I'm not looking to ride it.
foot long corn dogs.
Yeah. That's right.
Fanny Farkles in the throwing stores.
That's right.
Yeah, so best ride for me. So, like I said a while ago, I like a roller coaster. I'll ride a roller coaster. The Velocicoaster, what I was going to say, at Universal Studios is basically like a 2022 version of the Batman.
Really?
If they were building it today, that's what it would be like. And that's what it is like. But it's really, really good. However, I'm torn. I'm split between two specific rides because because I'm not like a pure roller coaster person, but if I also enjoy like 3D rides and things like that. Again, there are certain ones that will kind of make me a little bit sick.
Every single one of them makes me sick.
But I like a ride. If I'm going to ride a roller coaster, I like something that brings some special effects to the table. So the Mummy ride,
that's a good time.
Yeah, at Universal Studios, and I'm a big fan of a ride that I can ride back to back.
Yeah,
like over and over and over.
Same.
What kind of special effects are we talking here?
Fire.
Yeah, so there's like a room you go
you
in.
Die if you.
I mean, if you got off,
somebody hits the switch at the wrong time.
I mean, the Starliner had that monster mouth that you went into on the second dip there.
So yeah, the Mummy has a handful of. It's basically like a rock and roller coaster type. Like you're in the dark.
I know I've ridden that
in the dark.
The only time I went to Disney was like right when that thing had opened up.
I like that one.
A roller coaster in the dark, but then you have some special effects like some smoke effects. Some 3D holograms, and you go into that may not be correct, by the way, but they're renovating it right now.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're like updating it and such. So it's supposed to reopen.
Do you think they'll have the Rock Scorpion King character added?
Late summer. Which, by the way, that almost made me go off into a whole tangent just then about Brendan Fraser. Anyway,
I'm here for that.
We'll save that for a whole nother.
I like the
episode.
Mummy though. The Mummy's good.
The Mummy's good, but what I was going to say is I like something I can ride over and over again without getting sick. And one version of that, because it's a roller coaster, but the roller coaster itself is not too much. Like it's not an extreme roller coaster, so you may not like it. But if you take a decent roller coaster and you pair it with special effects, like I'm all in. And the one that does that really, really well at Universal is the Hagrid's motorbike ride. And on top of that, I'm a fan of like Harry Potter stuff, so I like that. So the combination of those two. However, that would definitely be my favorite ride at Universal, and that's a lot. I mean, to say that because there's a lot of good rides there.
A bunch.
But my second, or maybe my favorite overall ride, would be the Avatar Flight of Passage.
That's a good time too.
Ride at Animal Kingdom. Disney's Animal Kingdom. And I would say that's the most immersive ride that I've been on before.
Yeah. That one's good.
I haven't ridden the new Star Wars ride.
What kind of ride is that?
So did they have Soarin' when you went?
I don't remember.
I don't think they would.
So it's like a 3D ride where Soarin' is like where you're hang gliding, and you're in a contraption that's moving, and it's in front of essentially like an IMAX screen. And so it was just like an immersive ride, and they, pop in smells and things like that. So, ride over like, a field of oranges or something like that, and you smell citrus and all that. Anyway, Flight of Passage is an Avatar ride, and it's where you're riding a banshee from the movie Avatar. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you, quick story is we get on the ride. So it's extremely immersive. They take you through this process where it makes you feel like, it doesn't make you feel this way, but
it does.
You got to get yourself there.
Yeah. The storyline is you're being basically, piped into your avatar body. And then when you wake up, you're ready to get on your banshee. And when you get on this thing, it's like you're sitting on like a motorcycle type device, but it's like you're supposed to be sitting on top of this animal, and you can feel it breathing between your legs. Like you can feel its lungs and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then you've got 3D glasses on, and you're in front of this thing, and everything you're sitting in moves on top of that. And so it stands up, and it kind of like shakes itself off, and you feel like one leg go down, and then the other leg go down, and it stand up and stretch itself out. It just feels real, extremely immersive.
Do you feel like you have a ponytail that's connected somehow?
I think there's part of that that's in there. There's part of that that's in there. And then there's like
come on with the tree.
There's like a thing that you look into at some point where it like shows your face, and then all of a sudden it's like your face morphs, and it's like
you're the Avatar.
Yeah, you're the Avatar. It's really immersive. And then I'm an
Avatar fan. I like the movies.
Yeah, well, I did too. But my son, he was probably 11 at the time, maybe. And we had just watched Avatar right before we went down there. It's the first time he had seen the movie. And aren't they making a sequel?
They're making like 4 sequels.
They
or
got
something.
them.
Really?
They've been in the works for 10 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was so immersive that when at the very first thing that happens after this thing stands up to start the ride, essentially, to like really, all right, let's go, is like the guy that you're with, who's like your guide, you know, his Banshee jumps off a cliff and then yours jumps off a cliff following him and you do like a nosedive and then pull out of it or whatever. But when it jumped off the cliff, I mean, it's like, I'm riding this thing. And Bray, my son, he's 11 years old, he like uncontrollably, he's next to me, you know, on his Banshee or whatever, and he screams, I'm on a Banshee! Like, uncontrollable. So, anyway, I would say that or Haggard's Motorbike Ride.
I like, at Universal, I like the Hulk a lot. I haven't been there since they had some of the newer rides, but I always like that one. I just like the roller coaster with not like the build up top, like you're going up the hill or whatever, just like you shoot out at like 60 miles an hour. That's a good time.
You don't want the anxiety of going up that hill.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I am afraid of heights, so just shoot me out of a cannon, I'm fine.
Yeah.
The Hulk, by the way, is like a rock and roller coaster where you have that instant acceleration, except the acceleration is uphill. Yeah. And at the very top of the hill, you immediately go into a corkscrew. So
I also, but if I had to say like my favorite, it's a very specific time, like at night, was it Splash Mountain? If you go to Splash Mountain at night and the worker that's making like $8.50 an hour just doesn't even care anymore because they've been there for the entire day, they're just like keep riding it over and over again. So you can hit that ride like back to back to back to back. That's probably my favorite. At night specifically when the worker doesn't care.
All right. So best theme park overall then. I mean, we know Todd's answer, so.
Yeah.
A Miracle Strip, bro.
Did they reopen it? No, they
tried to. They had like a smaller scale version of it.
How much do you know about
I know it.
You're over there updating the Wikipedia page?
Yeah.
I think they scaled it down, and then they went to, well, let's set up a few pop-up rides at Pier Park.
Right.
And we'll call it Miracle
Right.
Strip.
Well, that's the thing about Miracle Strip. It was like literally, it was just a fair that could travel the country except for the roller coaster and the log ride. Like everything else, you could disassemble and take away. Actually, you can ride one of the Miracle Strip rides now in Oxford, Alabama.
What ride?
Y'all aware of this?
I saw that. Was it the Dante? Is it Dante's Inferno?
No, it's. Did y'all ever?
No, there is a guy he's bought them all though.
Somebody bought them all.
There is.
Somebody's a bigger fan than you, Todd.
Okay, hold on.
I just ain't got that kind of money, bro. So the I think it was called the Haunted Castle at Miracle Strip, and it's one of these rides you get in, 2-seater, and it slowly takes you through this haunted mansion. Okay, it was a really cool ride.
Great Value Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, and it was built into this like really ornate, crazy looking, scary looking castle. Well, the dude bought just the ride, not the castle, obviously, and has set it up in Oxford, and that is a sleepy. Probably it's got to be the best Halloween town in Alabama.
Oxford?
Yes.
I'm not aware of this.
I wasn't either.
I thought it was Bayview.
I'm telling you, Oxford, we went camping at Cheehaw last October, and we were just looking like, what can we do? And that's when I realized, oh, yeah, I forgot that dude.
The Haunted Castle.
Yeah, he got the Haunted Castle. It's called the Territorium now.
Okay. Yeah, I see that. I just found an AL.com article about it.
So they have, if you go there, I'm sure it's only open during, seasonal Halloween stuff. But if you go there, you can do that ride, and they also have a walk-through haunted house, too. Pretty cool. And the whole town, like you're walking through, it's got like a small downtown area, kind of a big Jasper feel.
In Oxford?
Yeah, but everything is like decorated,
I
blown
remember
up with pumpkins and Halloween stuff.
when I was a kid, that freaked me out.
That Haunted Castle ride?
Yes.
Because of the exterior of it, right?
Yes.
Because of the house. Yeah. It's creepy.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of that movie, Miracle Strip as a whole. Do y'all? Man, this is a throwback. There was a movie that had Chevy Chase and Demi Moore. Was it Nothing to Lose?
I don't know.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember this.
I don't know.
Do you remember what was the rapper that had the real big nose?
That did the Humpty Dance?
Humpty Dance. Was that his name?
Nah, that's the name of the song. That's I can't remember. What's his name?
I don't know the guy. I can't think of a big nose rapper.
Yeah, he's got the Humpty Dance.
It's not Nothing to Lose.
Here's your chance to do the Humpty Dance.
Something to lose. Everything to lose. Just a little bit to lose.
I feel so I don't know.
Is it Digital Underground? Is that the rapper?
No, I'm not. Anyway, there was a movie. It had Chevy Chase and Demi Moore. And sorry, I'm trying to find it on IMDb here. Y'all can talk.
Whatever happened to Chevy Chase? He's still kicking? Is he still with
He's
us?
still out there, just like nobody likes him.
No, but no, he's been hated for 30 years now, at least.
Yeah. I liked him on Community.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
Nothing But Trouble. That's the name of it. Anyway, Nothing But Trouble. It's got Dan Aykroyd, John Candy, Chevy Chase, Demi Moore. It is the goofiest movie in the world, but it's hilarious. But basically, they're traveling through this like rural town, and they get pulled over, and it's kind of like a rural town taking advantage of people that are passing through. You know, like Brookside.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I didn't know we were going to get political.
Just like Brookside.
Sorry. Anyway, but anyway, there's a scene in there that reminds me of Miracle Strip that when I was a kid, it was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying. That movie was released in 1991.
Never heard of it.
Yep. So, favorite overall theme park? We'll wrap this one up.
I mean, y'all just go ahead and say Disney overall.
Nope. I'm an annual pass holder for Universal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll revoke that.
They
if you
will
don't
revoke
say it.
in a heartbeat.
I think I'm going to go Disney mainly because I'm big on the food, like you mentioned. And
They'll throw a Harry Potter spell on you in a heartbeat.
I will.
What
Avada Kedavra.
After those two, what competes with them? Is that are they on a tier of their own?
Schlitterbahn in Texas.
Schlibberhead?
I think I've watched that.
We got to go. You can watch that Travel Channel episode.
Yeah, that's what I was
later.
saying. I've seen that like 100 times.
We got to go there. So I one thing I've not been to that I'm going to is Volcano Bay.
Yeah.
In the summer, because when we went in February, and we didn't get Volcano Bay is Universal's water park.
Okay.
By the way, Universal's building another park, a third theme park called Epic Universe.
I feel like Wingo's on the payroll.
He's got to be.
And it's got Nintendo stuff in it. There's gonna be a Mario Kart ride.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Now I got you. didn't I?
Now that's cool.
I got you.
Yeah.
I can get on board with that.
Yeah. Oh, and How to Train a Dragon section.
I'm more on the Mario Kart.
Okay.
My thing with theme parks is I can't justify. It's not worth it for me to spend the money to go on a vacation where that's what you do is go to a theme park. Does that make sense? I'd rather sit on a beach or sit on a porch in the mountains than walk 6 miles and eat a turkey leg.
I mean, why'd you have to throw in the turkey leg? That's like tough to beat. I get, when it comes to beach stuff and it comes to the mountains, I love those things. I have a really short attention span.
Yeah.
Like, again, Holly can go out on the beach and she'll sit there for
10 hours.
Yeah, she's fine.
See, I could do that.
I can sit there for about an hour and then like somebody want to play spike ball.
Yeah, what are we going to do?
I'm going to go do handstands in the ocean.
Yeah. So I am looking forward to the new park opening. Y'all didn't know I was going to break some news on here, did you?
No.
Epic Universe. That's what it's called. Universal's Epic Universe. Okay. Nintendo. There's a whole Nintendo world inside.
Universal's a close second to Disney for me. I'm just like I said, the food. As somebody who gets sick and is afraid of heights, I'm going to do everything there. But then there's, after every ride, there's a couple of minutes where I'm just absolutely miserable. World spinning, my body's like 150 degrees. That never happens to me at Disney.
So one last thing then to do with both of those. Stay on site or don't stay on site?
On site.
Do you stay on site at the Miracle Strip?
I would love to.
You stay on site at Jasper Mall Fair?
Yeah. Jasper Mall.
Although on site at the Miracle Strip would have everybody whipped because you're at the beach. So.
Oh, yeah, you're right there.
It's true.
So on site?
Yeah.
Favorite hotel?
I haven't stayed in a lot of different hotels. We always go like value hotels.
Yeah.
I'm just out there grinding
What
rides.
is a value hotel at Disney or Universal?
Like which one?
Yeah, like what's a value?
All-Star?
Yeah.
Pop Century?
I've stayed at all those.
Price-wise,
Oh.
what is a value?
I got to check with my guy on that. I don't know.
Port Orleans. I like Port Orleans. If you are a baller at Universal, you could stay at Lowe's Portofino, and you get automatic Universal Express, which is like the fast pass type thing for everything. You get it automatically just because you paid
for that.
Because you paid for that by staying at the hotel, and you can ride the boat to the park. You can ride a boat like a
Gondola?
no, it's not a gondola. What do they call it? Like a
I know he's talking about. It's a
paddle boat.
I can see it going down the rivers. A riverboat.
Riverboat,
gambling,
yeah.
Paddle boat thing.
Yeah. Anyway, you can ride one of those to the park. If you stay at Lowe's Portofino, I think the Hard Rock Resort at Universal, I think you can do that as well.
Can you get a T-shirt at the Hard Rock?
Is there actually a man? Is there actually a person that is controlling the boat, or is it on like a rail in the water?
By the way, those boat captains at Disney and Universal both, man.
That makes some money.
Well, no, I'm just
Sign
saying.
me up if that's what you're trying to say.
I'm just saying they. I have a hard time pulling into a dock on Smith Lake on a jet ski, and those guys take those 100-foot things and swing them around on a dime. But I guess, and all they have is basically like a little turn wheel, like
Yeah.
But I guess when you do it 15,000 times a day, you kind of get it down.
Yeah.
What if they were using like a PlayStation controller? That wouldn't surprise me at this point, but it'd be pretty wild.
All right. Well, I guess that's it. So, till next time. Y'all good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Later.
Drop that bass on us.
On.